2019.
What
The
up,
children's bodies
everybody?
were found behind
Happy
Daybell's home a
Friday,
year later.
everybody.
JJ's emotional
I'm just gonna show
grandfather
you some
spoke after
sun and
yesterday's verdict.
a beautiful day today. 70s and upper 80s, lower humidity. I'm gonna get ready to work out and then I'm gonna post this after. So I'm gonna get ready to work out every single Friday.
It's been a year since Lori Vallow was convicted for her role in the killings. She's serving life without parole. Prosecutors said the couple wanted to start a new life together and profited from insurance benefits. They married 8 weeks after the murders, pictured smiling in Hawaii. They justified their actions with their twisted religious beliefs, claiming the victims had turned into zombies and had to be killed. Daybell did not take the stand at his trial. The prosecution will now seek the death penalty.
Although the death penalty is not often sought, we do see it in these types of cases that typically regard egregious murders.
And the
Oftentimes it's some small children or something that just really offends sensibilities.
This morning, the jury will hear victim impact statements as the sentencing phase of this trial begins. Andrea Fuji, ABC News, New York.
Next here at noon, the debate over armed citizen patrols in New Haven. More reaction from both sides of the aisle on Donald Trump's historic conviction.
And a longtime Democrat in Washington abandons the party. We'll be right back.
Scrunchy.
Being bitten by a dog is a very traumatic experience. Here's what you need to know if you're bitten by a dog. Always call 911. This makes a record of the bite, and 911 will involve animal control. Animal control will make a report and take measures to make sure the dog quarantines if necessary, and documents the bite in case the dog bites in the future. Dog owners can be difficult to identify without this report, and the identity of the owner of the dog is necessary to verify. Take injury photos every step of the way. Scarring is common. Being able to provide photos to the insurance company increases the value of your claim. Call me today for your free consultation.
Have you called for your checkup? Your Medicare benefits checkup? Your free Medicare benefits checkup? Now is the time to call for yours. Did you know there is a special Medicare enrollment period if you're losing coverage, moving, or new to Medicare? You may be eligible for a special enrollment period. Call the number on your screen now for your free Medicare benefits checkup.
Enrollment in a Medicare Part C plan, also known as Medicare Advantage, is not automatic. Call for your free Medicare benefits checkup.
Do you know about Medicare Part C plans? Are you confused about what a Medicare Part C plan covers? Call for your free Medicare benefits checkup. Call 800-730-4675.
Original Medicare is made up of Parts A and B. Part A covers hospital stays, and Part B covers things like doctor's visits. A Medicare Part C plan could help you save money and may include extra benefits. Call for your free Medicare benefits checkup. A licensed insurance agent can answer your questions, check if you're eligible for a special enrollment period, and help you see what plans and benefits are available to you in your area. Call the number on your screen now for your free Medicare benefits checkup.
Now is the time to call for your free Medicare benefits checkup.
Different Part C plans are available in different parts of the country. Call for your free Medicare benefits checkup.
Enrollment in a Medicare Part C plan is not automatic. Are you confused about what a Medicare Part C plan covers? Did you lose your coverage? Have you moved? Did you recently turn 65? Call for your free Medicare benefits checkup and speak to a licensed insurance agent who can answer your questions, check your eligibility, and help you understand your options and see what plans and benefits are available to you in your area. Call 800-730-4675.
Have you called for your checkup, your Medicare benefits checkup, your free Medicare benefits checkup?
Call 800-730-4675. The call and Medicare benefits checkup are absolutely free and there's no obligation. Call 800-730-4675. That's 800-730-4675. 800-730-4675.
This is News 8 at noon.
A procession will start at 1 for the body of a state trooper who was killed yesterday afternoon during a routine traffic stop.
Yeah, that route will start at the medical examiner's office in Farmington and make its way to a funeral home in Southington. News 8's Jeff Tadarian is there for us live. Jeff.
Yeah, Darren and Ann, we're outside Della Vecchia Funeral Home here in Southington, and there's a large group of people that have come here to pay their respects to Trooper Pelletier. Some people who have never met him before. Other friends are here as well, saying they just cannot believe leave. What happened yesterday? Let me step out of the way for a moment, show you what's happening live. There you see some state police pulling up to the front doors here of the funeral home. The funeral home will be welcoming or greeting the family, if you will, shortly after 1 o'clock once they leave the medical examiner's office, as Darren mentioned. If you look a little bit to the right, you see the city of Waterbury is here with a ladder truck, and they have a large American flag that they've been working to drape in front of the funeral home. If you keep going a little bit more to the right, you can see that there are rows and rows of police cars here already. We got here about 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, and there was already a large contingent of police here getting ready to bring the body of Trooper Pelletier inside the funeral home. There are no details yet on the arrangements for the services here, but again, there is a large group of people that have gathered from this side to this side, just wanting to be here, wanting to pay their respects. We'll have much more first at 4. Live in Southington, Jeff Dedarian, News 8.
Jeff, thank you. While that's going on, we're also learning new information now about the suspect in this case. That's 44-year-old Alex Oyola Sanchez. He was arraigned on several charges just a short time ago, including manslaughter in the 2nd degree, operating under the influence, and evading. He's being held on a $1.9 million bond. Because of previous arrests, the judge said he is seen as a safety risk to the public.
First it was Hartford, now New Haven's police chief is coming out against a proposal to allow armed civilians to patrol the city. Both cities are dealing with a shortage of police officers, and leaders in both say this is a bad idea. News 8's Brittany Taylor has more on the latest proposal for New Haven.
These are community issues that the police can handle, but we don't need an armed patrol for that.
New Haven's police chief responding to a number of residents wanting to bring armed patrols to New Haven. His top concerns, a lack of use of force training among civilians.
We're talking 26 weeks of police training so that you don't have to take a life.
According to Cornell Lewis, who runs the Self-Defense Brigade in Hartford, one of the pro-patrol residents is from New Haven's Westville area. That's where a community meeting was held last week to address a string of vehicle break-ins in recent months. Alderman Richard Furlow, who represents the area, says the suspects are teenagers.
We know these are kids, so are you going to shoot a child? It's just very dangerous. And I think that more residents will be afraid to have people walking around arming themselves than those that are actually doing crime.
It comes as the New Haven Police Department faces a shortage of 70 officers this year. While violent crimes are down in the city by over 40%, the chief says a short-staffed police force is impacting officers' response to less violent crimes like the car burglaries in Westville.
There's a possibility that we might meet some kind of an agreement to where we might not have to patrol, but as of right now, the people still want to do it.
Lewis says the group may reconsider armed patrols under 2 conditions: open dialogue with the mayor, and if Barbara Fair, a well-respected New Haven activist, opposes the move. Today, we spoke to Fair's son, who is part of the same advocacy group.
I just don't think that's something we should implement here. Ms. Fair feels the same way.
I'm willing to talk to anybody. Tell them to call me and we'll have a meeting and we'll figure out solutions.
With the police chief and the mayor both open to dialogue, the Self-Defense Brigade says that they have reached out to the mayor's office to try and schedule a meeting for next week. In the meantime, the police chief says that he is trying to get more officers onto the streets. He will be increasing the amount of district managers over the next few weeks, which means that we could see a heightened police presence in communities like Westville. In New Haven, Brittany Taylor, News 8.
We got some breaking news out of Washington today. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia has left the Democratic Party. Manchin says he is now an independent, citing partisanship as the main reason for the switch. His registration and now raises questions about his future political plans. Manchin has long been an outspoken critic of the Democratic Party and an obstacle to many of President Joe Biden's legislative priorities. As for former President Donald Trump's historic conviction on his falsifying business records before the 2016 election, reaction pouring in now from both sides of the aisle. ABC's Em Nguyen has more from Washington.
In the wake of Donald Trump's historic conviction, the former president speaking out.
This is the case where if they can do this to me, they can do this to anyone.
This as President Joe Biden's campaign is taking aim at the convicted former president, saying no one is above the law.
He should be treated like everyone else.
Biden's team careful not to feed into Trump's baseless narrative that the president orchestrated this, though his campaign is calling to attention what's at stake, saying Trump still has a chance at the presidency in November.
Donald Trump is stronger now than he was at the start of the trial.
But that could soon change, according to an ABC News Ipsos poll from 2 weeks ago.
We saw 80% of Trump's supporters say they would continue to support him no matter what, but that's another 20% total that would either reconsider or withdraw their support based on a conviction in an election this close. Everything can matter. This clearly could be a huge development.
Trump's campaign quickly fundraising off of how he was found guilty on 34 criminal counts of falsifying business records to conceal hush money payments ahead of the 2016 election.
We're angry, but we're also happy in a way. Because you know what? My president's got street credit now.
This as Republicans rush to defend the president. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell claiming these charges never should have been brought in the first place. I expect the conviction to be overturned on appeal.
We have confidence in our high integrity.
President Biden has yet to weigh in himself, and Trump will continue campaigning as a convicted felon and faces up to 4 years in prison.
4 years in prison.
On July
Wow.
11th. Emily, ABC
July
News,
11th.
Washington.
In today's health headlines, more dengue fever cases have been confirmed in the United States. Could we see a summer surge in COVID cases? And the bird flu vaccine contains eggs. Why experts are worried about that. Joining me is Dr. Scott Roberts, Yale Medicine infectious disease specialist and assistant professor at Yale School of Medicine. Welcome, doctor.
Thanks for having me.
All right, dengue fever is rising concerns in the U.S. as more areas are becoming warm enough for the mosquitoes than in the past. Is this scary? Should we be concerned? What?
There's been almost 8 million cases of dengue reported this year, which is up about 200% from last year globally. Several countries in South America, Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, are having really bad outbreaks. And mosquitoes love warm weather, so over time we're starting to see dengue spread in mosquitoes more northward, and outbreaks this year may be due to the warm summer with El Nino. It's caused by the bite of an Aedes mosquito. These do live in the U.S. and usually prevents with the flu-like illness, but the second time you get dengue is really when you want to be concerned. Fortunately, it's pretty rare in the U.S., but it's something we're keeping an eye on.
All right. The COVID flirt variant likely to cause a summer surge in cases. What should we consider ahead of summer gatherings?
Yeah, flirt's really the new COVID variant that's taken over the U.S., and it's named for the mutations that distinguish it from the most recent variant. It's really related to the prior variants from the winter, so many of us still have some degree of immunity, whether it's from prior infection or vaccination. And we really know the tools by now to combat COVID. So it's washing hands, staying up to date on vaccines, masking in high-risk areas, avoiding people who are sick, and then making sure there's good ventilation. So I certainly don't expect a bad summer wave, but we may see some upticks here or there.
Yeah, be aware. And the vaccine for bird flu contains eggs, and the number of eggs needed to keep up with demand has experts worried. What can you tell us about that?
Most flu vaccines are made from virus that's grown in eggs. So the two concerns I have is first, we may need millions of eggs to grow the virus to get a bird flu or an H5N1 vaccine. So it would be challenging to do this and do the regular seasonal flu vaccine at the same time. And then second, what if the chickens that produce these eggs get infected with bird flu, and that would further strain the egg supply? I do want to reassure viewers that there's been no cases of human-to-human spread of bird flu. There's been 3 cases reported in the U.S., but all of them are in farm workers who directly work with infected animals. So the risk to the general public remains quite low.
And I know you're keeping an eye on it. All right, Dr. Scott Roberts, thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Really a beautiful afternoon. We're seeing a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-70s as we go through the second half of the day. Looking beautiful into the upcoming weekend. I don't know how we got this lucky, but we may not be so lucky going into Monday morning, and I'll show you some beautiful planetary motion we may miss.
In a slip and fall accident, Jonathan Perkins helped a woman get over $600,000 for her slip and fall.
Call 1-800-PERKINS to see what your slip and fall case is worth.
Griffin Health combines internationally recognized patient-centered care with the most advanced surgical technique available to provide an unparalleled hip replacement experience.
I love the interior approach because they don't cut any muscles, and I was up and walking within 3 hours of my surgery.
People are allowed to move their hip in any position they would want and get back to your normal lifestyle a lot more quickly.
I'm so thrilled to be back with my friends. If you were looking to have hip surgery, you would have to insist on Griffin Hospital and the interior hip approach.
There's only one bath fitter. Come tour Connecticut's premier bath showroom and select all your options for your new dream bathroom. Don't be fooled by others pretending to be us. Bath Fitter has been serving our customers for over 30 years. We provide high-quality installation services and offer free estimates and affordable payment options. Mention this ad and receive $500 off a complete system. It's better with Bath Fitter. Conveniently located right off I-95. BathFitter.com.
Do you think that Sonny would try to have you and Tex killed?
Hacking into the FBI is a federal crime. Are you willing to chance losing your freedom?
Gave him a chance to walk away. What happens next is on him.
General Hospital on ABC. At Pilgrim Furniture in Metro City, we don't have 100 stores. We have 2 right here in Connecticut. Our customers are numbers. They're neighbors. Your kids probably go to school with our kids. And chances are your furniture is our furniture. So the next time you're thinking, new living room, new bedroom, think outside the big box. Think Pilgrim Furniture in Metro City. For more than 50 years, locally owned, Connecticut grown.
Hurt in a slip and fall accident? Jonathan Perkins helped a woman get over $600,000 for her slip and fall.
Call 1-800-PERKINS to see what your slip and fall case is worth.
Get the power of Perkins.
All right, here's a live look as we rejoin you now of the procession that's happening for Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier. A body being brought from the Chief Medical Examiner's office in Farmington, winding up at a funeral home in Southington, the Della Vecchia Funeral Home. As you can see, people there have been lined up along that route, waiting for this procession to pass by, showing their respects for the fallen trooper. We have crews along this route. We're going to have a lot more coverage on this later today, throughout the day here on News 8.
On this very somber day. All right, Ashley, the weather.
All right. Well, we're looking at a pleasant afternoon. We have a mix of sun and clouds, as you can see behind us, and we'll keep some of these clouds going through the second half of the day. But once we start to lose the heat of the day, you'll see these clouds kind of fizzle out. That's just kind of what happens. You know, as the sun heats up the ground, that warm air rises, it cools and condenses, and that's how we get these clouds. Then when we start to lose the heat of the day, the clouds go away for the most part. It is 73 degrees as we take a live look into London. If you're planning to get out over Long Island Sound today, temperatures there will be in the lower 70s, wave height right around a foot high, and water temperatures still hovering in the low 60s. It is 70 degrees in Torrington. We're also at 70 in Willimantic, 72 in Meriden. It's 74 degrees here in New Haven. Those winds are still coming out of the north and northwest between 7 to 12 miles per hour. Looks like a little bit of an onshore breeze starting to develop out towards New Haven, but I wouldn't worry about it. It's still going to be a nice afternoon no matter where you are, from the shoreline to inland areas. So here's our hour by hour, which will show you pleasant conditions through this afternoon. Again, temperatures comfortably in the mid-70s. Overnight, mainly clear. We'll see the numbers drop down into the upper 40s and low 50s. So just like this morning, it is going to be a refreshing start to your day Saturday. Plenty of sunshine in the forecast tomorrow. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer, topping out in the low 80s. The temperatures will come up a little bit. The humidity will not, so it'll stay comfortable through Saturday right into Sunday. But then, as we go from Sunday night into Monday morning, something really cool is going to happen. We're actually going to see 6 planets align, starting with Jupiter, Mercury, Uranus, Mars, Neptune, Saturn. They're all going to be in this really cool alignment. So this is going to be Monday morning right before sunrise. So sunrise at about 5:15, so you should be able to see this with the through the naked eye, basically around 3, 4 o'clock. So look to the east. The problem is we are unfortunately looking at some clouds. So let's quickly jump to our 8-day forecast here just so I can show you that. As we go into Sunday, We are going to be looking at a mix of sunny clouds, and Sunday does look dry with temperatures in the lower 80s. But as we go through Sunday evening, we're going to see more clouds fill in. We'll be looking at cloudy skies with some passing showers Sunday night or early Monday morning. So it's so unfortunate that those clouds may block the view of that 6th planet alignment. But Monday, things will clear up nicely. We'll have increasing sunshine with temperatures in the low to even mid 80s. And we're looking good for most of next week. Tuesday and Wednesday, a pair of quiet days there. By next Thursday, we may see a few more clouds with another chance for some late day thunder showers that could continue into Friday morning. But also keep in mind that's 7 and 8 days out. So we're likely to tailor that forecast between now and then.
All right, thanks so much. Caring for our aging loved ones, ensuring our relatives are safe at home is important. Hartford Healthcare's Home Safety Solutions help to make that aging in place a reality. Joining me with more is Sandra Gifford, Resource Coordinator for Hartford Healthcare Center for Healthy Aging. Welcome.
Thank you for having me here today.
All right, tell me about Hartford Healthcare's Home Safety Solutions. What safety devices are available for seniors in need?
Home Safety Solutions offers technology that promotes independence, safety, and improved quality of life. Our range of solutions include devices for fall prevention, emergency response systems, medication management, remote monitoring, fire safety, and hearing assistance.
And you have a smartwatch available for folks?
I do, right here.
Tell me about it.
The smartwatch is designed with the same technology as the personal emergency response system and the additional function and style of a watch. One of the features of the smartwatch is its fall detection capability. The smartwatch's advanced sensors can detect a fall and automatically trigger an alert, which ensures a prompt assistance in the event of an emergency. The GPS location feature provides real-time tracking for the individual. This not only enhances safety, but also encourages independence, allowing the wearer to venture out with confidence. And monitoring health is also a top priority for many of us, so the PERS smartwatch can help with this. The integrated steps feature keeps track of daily activities.
All right, and finally, how can families learn more about the options available?
So devices, to learn more about Home Safety Solution devices and any other resource questions you might have for yourself or a loved one, you can contact the Hartford Healthcare Center for Healthy Aging at 877-424-4641 and be connected with one of our colleagues.
All right, Sandra, thanks so much for the information.
Thank you.
Still ahead here on News 8, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. We're going to spell it all out from the 96 Scripps National Spelling Bee when we come back.
I'm burning it off. I'm burning it off.
This is an important message for people on Medicare. Today we are talking about Medicare Advantage plans. If you're new to Medicare, moving or losing coverage, call now for your free Medicare benefits checkup and see if you're eligible to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that could help save money and may include additional benefits. The call and Medicare benefits checkup are absolutely free.
Good morning, Linda. Marianne, so nice to see you. It's been quite a while. Oh, it has. I actually turned 65 since the last time I was here. And I'm on Medicare now. Oh, here's my card.
Okay. So it looks like you have original Medicare. Part A, which covers hospital stays, and Part B, which is medical coverage for things like physician's visits.
Okay.
But it looks like you don't have Medicare Part C, commonly called Medicare Advantage. Medicare Advantage plans may include additional benefits and could be better for your healthcare needs.
Linda, I didn't know that.
Honestly, that's more common than you think. Understanding the different parts and options for Medicare can be confusing.
Confused about your Medicare options? If you're new to Medicare, moving or losing coverage, call now because there may be a Medicare Part C plan with additional benefits available in your zip code. Call 800-781-4779. Don't get a Medicare Part C plan automatically, so call now.
I'll call when I get home.
Call 800-781-4779 now for your free Medicare benefits checkup and see if you're eligible to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that could help save money money and may include additional benefits. This is a free service that you can call at absolutely no cost to you. Call now to speak with a licensed insurance agent and see if you're eligible to enroll in a Medicare Part C plan in your area that could save you money and may include additional benefits. You won't know unless you call. Call now for your free Medicare benefits checkup and to see what plan options are available to you. The call and Medicare benefits checkup are absolutely free and there's no obligation. Call 800-781-4779. 800-781-4779. 800-781-4779.
If you go to a flooring store or big home warehouse to buy flooring, your installation could take 6 weeks or more. That's not right. At National Floors Direct, we install flooring the next day, the way it should be. Call 888-400-FLOOR. We bring the story to your door.
Well, it wasn't just nouns, but also verbs and adjectives taking center stage at this year's National Spelling Bee.
And today we have a brand new champion. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Bruhat Soma, you are the 2024.
Thursday night near our nation's capital, 7th grader Bruhat Soma victoriously hoisted the Scripps Cup at the 96th Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Bruette.
B-R-O-U-E-T-T-E.
Due to time, this year's bee came down to a one-on-one spell-off with the St. Petersburg, Florida native correctly spelling 29 words in 90 seconds. That's almost 3 seconds per word.
E-S-I, Tennessee.
That is correct. The week started with 245 spellers from all 50 states and more, narrowing down to just 8 competitors for last night's final. They spelled words so rarely heard and so confusing.
Go buy a sausage.
Some of them sounded like they were telling you to go buy a sausage.
E, febrifuge.
That is correct.
Coming in 5th place was Aditi Muthakumar from Colorado.
Step forward and...
Okay. I introduced some of you to Aditi last year when I got to learn a little Indian classical dance from her and her sister, who, fun fact, went toe-to-toe with Aditi for 3 hours in the state bee before Big Sis won. Meanwhile, coming in 2nd place was Faison from Dallas, Texas, who was so fast.
Nickery.
Nickery, N-I-C-U-R-I, Nickery. That is correct.
He didn't need to hear no definition or place of origin to spell his final word of the night. Then came the spell-off where Faison admirably spelled 20 words correctly to Bruhat's 29. And after a week of spelling many, many words, it was understandably hard for Bruhat to find the right one in that moment.
I can't describe it like I'm still shaking.
By the way, the 2nd place finisher, Faison, he's only in 6th grade, so he still has 2 more years to come back and finish business. He's got to be the outside favorite now, right? In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Smart kids.
We're super smart. We're back in the news here in just a minute.
One more can. I don't know. One is.
Salonpas Lidocaine Flex, a super thin, flexible patch with maximum OTC strength lidocaine that contours to the body to relieve pain right where it hurts. And did we mention it really, really sticks? Salonpas, it's good medicine.
As we remember the 80th anniversary of D-Day, we're taking you to Normandy to honor the hero who stormed those roads. Watch D-Day, the greatest victory.
3, then 4, 5.
But all I'm going, I'll get a whole
Just get like,
only 5 pounds.
no, that's too many. That's 3, 4,
Did you make that
5,
call?
6,
Honey, we already have Medicare.
and
Why
5
do I need to
$7
call?
bill.
Alan,
$5
Falcon said we may be able to get additional
And,
benefits with a Medicare Advantage plan right here in our zip code.
Honey, what do you mean additional benefits? We turned 65, we got Medicare. That's all there is to it, right?
I'm talking about Medicare Part C, commonly called Medicare Advantage. We have traditional Medicare, which is only Medicare Parts A and B, but not Part C.
Wait. So not everyone on Medicare is a Part C plan?
No, that's why we need to call, because there may be plans available with additional benefits.
What kind of extra benefits?
If you're losing coverage, moving, or new to Medicare, call 800-579-5688 now to speak with a licensed insurance agent. Give them your zip code and see if there's a Part C plan with additional benefits available to you in your area that may better fit your needs. If you don't have a Medicare Part C plan, call now because there may be plans with additional benefits available. simple. Medicare plans and benefits can change each and every year. If you're on Medicare, you can call now, even if you called last year. If you feel like your original Medicare plan isn't giving you everything you need, call to find out if you're eligible to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan. We will check to see if there is a Part C plan available in your area with additional benefits. You don't get a plan with additional benefits automatically, so call to speak with a licensed insurance agent. Remember, you don't get Medicare Part C plan benefits automatically. Call now for your free 2024 no-obligation Medicare benefits review. If you're losing coverage, moving, or new to Medicare, call 800-579-5688 now. Call 800-579-5688. 800-579-5688.
Watch News 8 at 4 p.m. with Ann Nyberg, Darren Kramer, Catherine Hauser, and Ashley Bailey. Weekdays on News 8, Connecticut's news leader.
All right, here's a live look. This is over I-84 in Plainville. If you look at your screen there on the right-hand side, you'll see the procession beginning to come through. That is the state police procession for Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier, who was killed on this highway yesterday afternoon. They started at the Chief Medical Examiner's office in Farmington. They are making about a 12-mile trip now down the highway, ending at the Della Vecchia Funeral Home in Southington. People have been gathered watching this passage. You see the DOT spinning around. This is our camera at the funeral home, and you can see the big convoy of waiting police professionals, officers from around Connecticut and around the region now waiting for this procession to arrive at the funeral home. That officer getting those fatal injuries yesterday during a traffic stop yesterday afternoon on I-84. We have crews there watching what happens as this procession goes through, and it's such a sad day in the state.
Such a sad day. Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier was a father of 2 young children, a husband. He'd been with the Connecticut State Police for 9 years. As you remember, he was hit yesterday on I-84 in Southington after a routine traffic stop. He was also a canine officer. He had just pulled over a motorist for not wearing a seatbelt, apparently, and was hit and killed. Again, they're going Route 4 to I-84 into Southington right there to the Della Vecchia funeral home.
By all accounts, a good guy too. A couple of our staffers knew him and met the officer, said he was a very pleasant, jovial guy. We will be watching as this procession continues today.
Always wanted to help his community.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, our last story of the day. Celebrate Pride, be a pirate, or enjoy area trails. There's a lot going on this weekend.
Should be a beautiful weekend. News 8 Sarah Cody has 8 things to do.
At the Schubert Theater through Saturday, see Stomp, the international percussion sensation, where the troupe uses unique items for drumming. It's showtime. See Beetlejuice at the Bushnell through Sunday. Based on Tim Burton's hit film, this Broadway smash hit with great music is called Irreverent and Edgy. This weekend, you can take part in Connecticut Trails Day, highlighting our natural spaces with a directory of locations and events like bird walks. Saturday afternoon, enjoy the annual Shad Bake at Safe Harbor Essex Island Marina, when the local fish is cooked over a large bonfire. Also Saturday, you can enjoy Middletown Pride Fest, the largest pride event in the state, with fun activities, concerts, vendors, food trucks, and a march. Saturday during Kids Fest at Lake Compound, little ones can visit with Daniel Tiger. Also, the state's largest water park, Crocodile Cove, is open. Sunday, take a stroll through an annual car show at the Saybrook Auto Mall, supporting local veterans. Find goodie bags, trophies, and food. Sunday, enjoy the 22nd annual Pirates Day in downtown Milford. It's a popular family-friendly event with a treasure hunt, shopping, and treats. And here's next for everyone. Check out Riverfest all weekend at Mystic Seaport Museum with special historic demonstrations. And you can find more information about all of these great events at WTNH.com. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. I'm Sarah Cody, News 8.
Once again, we're going to take a live look at that procession for the fallen state trooper who was killed yesterday afternoon on I-84, Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier. This again at the funeral home in Southington, where they're coming from the medical examiner's office from Farmington down to Southington, and a lot of officers there waiting.
And under arrest is 44-year-old Alex Oyola Sanchez of Hartford. He's charged with manslaughter in the second degree and operating under the influence.
Full coverage of all this and a busy news day coming up. We'll be back at News 8 at 4. We hope to see you then.
News 8 is Connecticut's news leader.
What you need to know right now on GMA 3. Donald Trump guilty. A historic criminal conviction for the former president in his hush money case. Our team breaks down the verdict and how it could impact his re-election bid for the White House.
Oh, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
And a war of words. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett speaking out about her viral confrontation with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her take on decorum on Capitol Hill. Whooping cough cases on the rise. Who's at highest risk and what you can do to protect yourself.
And The View co-host Sunny Hostin is back with a new book for your beach reading list. Her latest novel that takes readers on a journey of romance and self-love. And it's Faith Friday here, a pastor's words of wisdom. Real Talk Kim is here to help you take hold of your destiny.
They call me weird. I'm a weird man. I love the forest. That's weird. I don't even read.
And the stage revival of Uncle Vanya brings a star-studded cast to Broadway. Tony-nominated actor William Jackson Harper joins us to talk about his fresh take on a classic in our spotlight on Broadway.
Now, from Times Square, DeMarco Morgan and Eva Pilgrim with Dr. Jen Ashton and What You Need to Know.
All right, let's give a round of applause because it's Friday. We made it, and welcome to What You Need to Know. Errol is back in for Eva. Good to see you guys.
It's good when we start a Friday with applause.
Yeah,
we start the show out on a
it takes forever to get here.
Exactly, and we made it. We made it.
All right, let's talk to America's favorite doctor about this headline here. Cases of whooping cough on the rise now?
Yeah, so remember, it's not just viral respiratory infections we have to keep an eye on. This one is caused by a bacteria. New data out by the CDC. Let me take you through it. This year, there are at least 4,800 plus whooping cough cases reported. This is more than double at this time last year. This is spread person to person up to 2 weeks from the symptom onset. So that's the incubation period. The symptoms, we've all probably experienced it: congestion, prolonged high-pitched whooping cough sound. You hear it oftentimes in children. In some cases, it can progress to difficulty breathing. The treatment is mostly supportive, but in some cases, antibiotics are necessary. And again, amongst pregnant women and infants under the age of 1, this can be incredibly serious.
And we know there is a vaccine. That's the first line of defense. What does a protection plan look like?
So the vaccine regimen differs depending on who you're talking about, as it does for so many different immunizations. It's either Tdap or DTaP, depending on which one you're talking about. For pregnant women, it's 1 dose in the 3rd trimester. This is very important to pass on the antibody protection to the fetus. For infants and children, they require 3 doses at 2, 4, and 6 months of age, and then 2 boosters later on. And older children and adults, it's 1 dose around 11 and 12 years of age, and then 1 time roughly every 10 years. You guys, if you have an infant or newborn in your life in any capacity, whether it's a caregiver, a grandchild, a relative, and you have not been vaccinated in the last 10 years, get that vaccine. You're protecting that baby.
So incredibly vital. Thank you so much, Dr. Jen. We'll see you in just a short time from now. And we turn now to ABC's M. Wynn in Washington with our latest headline.
Sweaty one.
Hey there, Ariel. Good afternoon. And we begin with the war in Ukraine. President Biden giving Kyiv permission to strike inside Russia using American weapons. Defense leaders insist the weapons will only target Russian military sites. This marks a break from long-standing policy. For years, U.S. officials feared a strike on Russia with American arms could draw the U.S. into direct conflict with Russia. New York's governor wants to ban kids from using smartphones at school. Instead, so-called dumb phones would be allowed. Those are phones without internet access, so kids and parents could still text each other. The ban could go up for a vote next year.
The IRS is expanding its free online tax filing program. The agency tested out Direct File in 12 states this year and said the launch was a success. Direct File will be available to taxpayers with certain simple federal returns in all 50 states and Washington, D.C. next year. Now to our Ginger Z with the latest on our weather.
As we come to the close of one of the busiest Mays on record, severe weather-wise, Midland, Texas, showing you the landspout and a tornado, both reported, but it doesn't matter, we're going to still have the potential to add more. Where that came from, we have had the second most tornadoes to date since records went back to 1990, modern records. You can see there, this is where the risk is. Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi get into it. This morning, Texas started with a lot of storminess, and then we'll get back to Texas, New Mexico, all the way up into the northern plains as we reach Sunday. So a very busy weekend ahead as we kick off June.
Ginger, thank you. The Dallas Mavericks are heading to the NBA Finals. The Mavs blew out the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 5 last night. Now the Mavs gear up to face the Boston Celtics. The NBA Finals kicks off Thursday night at 8:30 Eastern Time.
June 1st tomorrow. My birthday is June 19th. This month coming up. It falls on a Wednesday. It falls on Hump Day, Wednesday. My birthday is June the 19th. I'm going to be big 4-0. Don't forget that. 40 years old come June 19th. Okay, now the push-ups.
The official winning word was a scale. That's defined as a descent in mountaineering by means of a rope looped over a projection above. Along with bragging rights, of course, he takes home $50,000 in prize. Wow. That's just incredible. You know, I've actually had the chance to watch those kids here in Washington, D.C., and I'm just in awe of them.
Yeah, we're so proud of all of them.
For
and
sure.
we're happy and proud of you because somebody's glowing just a little differently today.
Someone took
What
the
you
title.
smiling about, girl?
Yeah, someone took the title of bride over the weekend. We heard. Congratulations. I know. That was so much fun this weekend. Oh, it's incredible. You know, there was something I said during the wedding that I want to say here. It's just that there are 2 times in your life where there are all of your family and friends together. And that's your wedding and a funeral. So that is why we cherished Sunday, and it was magical, and it was amazing. Celebrate your wedding. We're so excited for you and Danny. Congratulations. Thank
All right,
you.
good to see you, friend. Still ahead on GMA3 on this Friday, guilty as charged. The former president and presumptive Republican nominee, Donald Trump, convicted of falsifying business records. More on this case as our team outlines what's next.
Plus, Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett speaking out about her heated exchange on Capitol Hill. What's she saying about those tense moments?
ABC's GMA3. What you need to know. Brought to you by CarShield. CarShield cars go
You work
farther.
like this on Sunday? How many push-ups do
If
you
you've
do?
been paying attention, it's easy to see prices are going up on just about everything. That's why you need to do your wallet a favor and call CarShield now.
You can do a YouTube video
CarShield
this
locks you
Sunday?
into today's low price.
You know,
So you
YouTube
can enjoy
video,
peace of
like I
mind
do?
knowing that you're not only protected from mechanical breakdowns, but also
You should do it
from
like
these rising
this, see?
rates. If you're driving an out-of-warranty vehicle, CarShield offers plans that cover up to 6,000 parts and systems in your car, truck, or SUV. Why pay for expensive repairs? Call CarShield now before a breakdown.
My mom told me to call CarShield. I listened and I saved $5,000. You should always listen to your mom.
When I needed long-term protection at affordable prices, I called CarShield.
I've been a CarShield customer for close to 7 years, had 3 vehicles covered, and they saved me close to $9,000.
CarShield saved me $2,200. CarShield administrators covers expensive repairs so I don't have to.
It's so simple. A plan through CarShield means when you have a vehicle that needs repairs, their administrators got your back. But wait, darlings, there's more. Lots more. Especially if you love extras like I do. See, I love a plan that includes 24/7 coast-to-coast roadside assistance, courtesy towing, and rental car options too. Darlings, expensive car breakdowns will happen. The difference is calling CarShield before they do. So listen to Auntie Vivica and call CarShield now to protect yourself from rising rates and costly repairs. Call now and get yourself a free quote.
It's not a matter of if your car will break down, but when. You need to call CarShield before your car breaks down. CarShield gives you a price lock guarantee, which means your monthly price never goes up for as long as you cover your car. Get help paying for expensive repair bills by calling CarShield now. Call 800-237-4000. 800-237-4000. 800-237-4000.
Did you know 80% of women are struggling with hair damage? Just like I was.
Dryness and frizz could be damaged hair that can't retain moisture.
New Pantene Miracle Rescue Deep Conditioner with first-of-its-kind melting Pro V pearls. Locks in moisture to repair 6 months of damage in one wash without weigh down.
Guaranteed or your money back.
For resilient, healthy-looking hair. If you know it's Pantene.
You are bountiful. Your skeleton can support 2 times your weight. It's in your nature to stand strong. Supplement your bones with high absorption magnesium. Nature's bounty. It's in your nature.
Want the power of 5 serum benefits in one? Olay Super Serum activates on skin to hydrate, smooth, visibly firm, brighten, and improve texture. It's my best skin yet. Olay.
NexGard Plus helps you protect your dog from fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, and more. All in one delicious monthly soft chew. Used with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. NexGard Plus, the one you want for one and done protection.
Tonight, as a case we all thought was solved.
Holly Bobo.
Blown wide open.
Now, the key witness changing his story.
What does he tell you?
Tells me he made the whole thing up.
2020 tonight on ABC.
Welcome back to GMA3. The 45th President of the United States is now a convicted felon. Former President Donald Trump convicted in a Manhattan courtroom on 34 counts of falsifying business records.
Joining us now is senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky and political director Rick Klein. Thank you both for joining us. A first-time TV event, having you both in the same studio at once, so we appreciate it. Aaron, we'll start with you. Dramatic moments inside the courtroom, obviously. And we talked about the shift in tone. We know that it was sort of a playful, jovial moment before the judge announced that the verdict had come in, and then all of a sudden it changed.
Because he was ready to send the jury home. He had come out onto the bench, said, okay, in about 15 minutes, we're going to quit for the day. And Trump was laughing and joking with his attorney, Todd Blanche, who almost knocked his head on the table. He was keeled over laughing so hard. And then when the judge delayed his return to the bench and came back to say, actually, the jury has reached a verdict, the mood shifted entirely. Everyone became rigid and stone-faced and silent. The jury filed in just inches from Trump. They didn't look at him. And one by one, the 4 persons said guilty. It took about 2 minutes to read the verdict, and it was probably around count 4 when it set in for Donald Trump. That's when he shut his eyes and shook his head.
So, Rick, how could this conviction affect Trump's ability to run for president?
Yeah, DeMarco, this was a long trial, right? Went over 6 weeks, and it was striking to me to see the numbers that developed out of polls. Our 538 polling average had this actually get a little bit more of a race in Trump's favor over that 6 weeks. So despite all the embarrassing stuff that was out there, it actually seemed to help Trump, if anything. It hurt Joe Biden a little bit more since this was the main event. That said, there's some big reasons to think that this could be a major event. We had a poll out just a couple of weeks from Ipsos, our partners at Ipsos, that showed that just among Trump supporters, 20% of them said that they would be open to or settled on choosing another candidate if Trump is convicted. That's now happened. That's a reality. Whether everyone agrees with that, and of course that 20% is not the same as saying they're going to vote for Joe Biden, but it suggests that there are people for whom a felony conviction is a big deal.
And Aaron, the sentencing is coming, as we know, July 11th, despite those 34 felony counts. These are considered low-level offenses here in New York. What's the possibility of prison time? That's a question everyone's asking.
Ariel, I cannot wrap my head around the idea of a president of the United States actually going to prison. And most people who are convicted on felony falsification of business records do not serve prison time, and Trump is a first-time nonviolent offender. There's one small caveat, and that's the way the prosecution framed the case as a subversion of democracy. The records were falsified, prosecutors said, so Trump could cover up this scheme to corrupt the 2016 election by depriving voters of information about these lewd stories from his past. Maybe The district attorney, Alvin Bragg, will ask for an incarceratory sentence. We'll have to wait and see till July 11th, just days before he's set to claim the Republican nomination.
He still has to sit in front of a parole board, and that's quite a scene for a former president of the United States.
All right, so Rick, the Trump campaign has already started to capitalize off of this conviction. Fundraising, calling him a political prisoner. How are they going to use this to work to their advantage? Is it possible that this could help Trump in his race for president?
Anything's possible, sure. And I do think that the Trump campaign is already talking about a record fundraising 24 hours since the conviction. And that's not that surprising. It's been in the news. It gets your supporters out. And I'm looking at that sentencing date as kind of the unofficial kickoff to the convention. Because it's only 4 days out. Look, any normal politician, this would be awful. It rains on your parade, your big moment. But actually for Trump, because it's so core to his message, the political and the legal have been so entwined for so long, it's easy for him to say, look, I'm going to show up there in Manhattan and I'm going to take the fight to Milwaukee. He gets the convention a few days later. He'll have a new vice presidential pick by then, and he can just envelop all of this into the messaging. It is possible that this helps him in the end, but keep in mind, elections are not settled with your bases. He's got his base. We know the people that are with him forever. Those people on the margins, the people that might be thinking about another candidate, this just might be enough to give them pause.
He has always been king of capitalizing on controversy, so we'll see if this time is any different. Thank you both for joining us. Eric Kuczynski and Rick Klein.
I got it. All right, still ahead on GMA3 The Views. Sunny Hostin is here in studio.
So how much singles you got left?
Our best-selling Summer Beach series.
The captivating page turner that's
You got one more can?
drama with a few life lessons. Stay with us.
See, Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare home insurance options so you can get what you need without overpaying.
Yeah, we spent a lot on this kitchen.
Yeah, really high-end stuff.
Sorry, that's our ghost.
And then,
Yeah, okay.
It's more annoying than anything.
Too bad there's mold behind the backsplash. Yep, that's mold.
Well then, let's see if we can save you some money with Progressive.
Guess how much I originally paid for this fireplace? $23. Materials and labor.
Just ignore it.
You got bamboozled.
That yellow's not gonna fly. Buckle up. There's toothpaste white, and there's Crest 3D White Strips white.
Whitens like a $400 professional treatment. Crest.
Purina One True Instinct unlocked her true instincts. From day one, it's high-protein nutrition with real meat number one, supporting her healthy energy and strong muscles, and the life she was born to live.
Purina One True Instinct, a difference from day one. Looking for a smarter way to mop? Try the Swiffer Power Mop. An all-in-one cleaning tool with a 360-degree swivel head that goes places a regular mop just can't. Mop smart with the Swiffer Power Mop.
Beautiful and healthy looking eyes? It shouldn't be a compromise. Lumify Eye Illumination, developed by the experts at Bausch & Lomb exclusively for the sensitive eye area. To cleanse, nourish, and brighten. Lumify Eye Illumination, only in the eye care aisle.
You can't leave without cuddles, but you also can't leave covered in hair. With Bounce Pet, you can cuddle and brush that hair off. Bounce, it's the sheep.
With moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, my skin was no longer mine. My active psoriatic arthritis joint symptoms held me back. Don't let symptoms define you. Emerge as you. With Tremfya, most people saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months, and the majority stayed clearer at 5 years. Tremfya is proven to significantly reduce joint pain, stiffness, and swelling. It's just 6 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you have a finger cleansing.
Emerge as you. Emerge Tremfya. Ask your doctor about
When you leave, your bathroom can feel like a revolving door. Keep things fresh. Breathe small spaces. It's an alcohol-free air by sodas for 45 days. So even if it's full of flush, you know your bathroom smells amazing.
Swatchbot has over 25 years of professional expertise. That's why I trust them to create the perfect blog. To help you tell your story and feel more like you. Swatchbot, what story will you tell?
When your gut is out of balance, your body gives you signs. So if you're frustrated with occasional bloating, gas, or abdominal discomfort, help stop the frustration and start taking Align every day. Align Probiotic was specifically designed by gastroenterologists to help relieve your occasional digestive upsets, so you can enjoy life. When you feel
ready,
the signs,
YouTube?
it's
I'm
time to
ready.
try
Are you
Align.
ready, YouTube? Okay. You ready? I'm ready.
All right, welcome back to GMA3. Our next guest is a legal journalist, New York Times bestselling
In
author,
3,
and four-time Emmy
2,
Award-winning co-host
1,
of The
go.
View.
And she's here now to tell us all about the latest installment in her trilogy of romance novels, Summer on Highland Beach. Please welcome Sunny Hostin. So, Sunny, this is your third novel, your beach read, and you said this is really a love letter to your readers. What do you mean by that?
Because a lot of people know about HBCUs, right? Historically black colleges and universities. So many people don't know about HBBCs. It's a federal designation for historically black beach communities. And what I wanted to do was sort of, we see this erasure of our history, of our American history, and I wanted to send this love letter out and tell people there are these beautiful places of wealth, of excellence, of love, of friendship. And my readers from the first book wanted more and more and more, and they instructed me. They told me, I want to know more about Olivia. I want to know about her journey. I want her to find value. I want her to find love. I want her to find family. And so I wrote this because they asked me to. And what greater pleasure than to sort of have someone, not one, but thousands of people reach out to tell you,
validating.
You did this okay, and we want more of it. So it is a love letter.
And you talked about it. Your books, they touch on black history, but they also caught the attention of actress Octavia Spencer. You guys are working on a little project.
We are. We're so wonderful.
I did it.
I gave her a book. I actually thought it would maybe lead to an Instagram post. That's all I wanted. And after reading it, she called me and she said, you're going to get a lot of calls from people, but let me tell you why you should call me. And I thought it was a joke. I thought it was one of my friends, but it wasn't a joke. And so Prime Amazon actually bought the series, and we have been greenlit to pilot. We are almost finished.
Look at these arms, man.
It.
Ooh, look at those.
Octavia, hopefully, if she has time, will play.
Look at those arms. They're getting
Olivia's
bigger
mother,
by the
Sydney.
minute.
If she doesn't have time, I know another Oscar-winning actress named Whoopi Goldberg.
Wow, they're getting bigger by the minute.
There's a little bit of everything in this book, but what really drew you to the genre of beach reads?
You know, I have always been a beach read fanatic. I love Ellen Hildebrand, and she unfortunately is like putting her bikini up. She said she's not going to write anymore, and write these reads anymore. But it's a getaway. It's an elevated getaway. I mean, we have so much that we're dealing with in our world. Why not be able to escape? And for me, the perfect escape is a beach read.
Well, it is wonderful to be able to escape into a beautiful book. Sunny Hostin, we appreciate your time. You can pick up Sunny's book, Summer on Highland Beach, everywhere where books are sold, or you can scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen to buy a copy.
I think we're all big fans of Sunny.
Thank you so much. And when we come back, addressing arthritis pain, Dr. Jen has some natural solutions to give your joints a little bit of relief.
And we're marching toward the Tonys with our spotlight on Broadway. Actor William Jackson Harper is here to tell us all about the star-studded cast from the hit revival of Uncle Luke. One more time for Sunny, everybody.
I was stuck. Unresolved depression symptoms were in my way. I needed more from my antidepressant. Vraylar helped give it a lift. Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant is clinically proven to help relieve overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone. And in Vraylar clinical studies, most show no substantial impact on weight. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke, report unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults, report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, as these may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, and high cholesterol may occur. Movement dysfunction and restlessness are common side effects. Stomach and sleep issues, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are also common. Side effects may not appear. I didn't have to change my treatment. I just gave it a lift. Ask about Vraylar and learn how active Oh, my super soft skin. Jergens original cherry almond lotion. Smooth. Mom will be so proud. I like my big baby bun. Stouffer's mac and cheese is made with 100% real cheese.
So creamy.
So cheesy.
It's too bad you're a dog. This is really creamy. You'd love it.
Made with 100% real cheese. Stouffer's.
I love that my daughter's still
Almost 1 minute.
but sometimes I can't help due to burning and stabbing pain in my hands. So I use Nervive.
Nervive's clinical dose of ALA reduces nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days.
Now I can help again. Feel the difference with Nervive.
Not flossing well? Then add the Listerine to your routine.
This is an ABC News special report. Now reporting, David Muir.
Good afternoon. We're coming on the air a little bit earlier this afternoon because President Biden is about to come before the cameras for the first time since former President Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felony counts of filing false documents here in New York. President Biden is actually expected to speak about to the nation about Israel's war with Hamas, urging Hamas to accept the hostage deal that has been put on the table in recent days. This would be a critical step before any possible peace plan to try to end the conflict in Gaza, which is about to enter its 8th month. I should mention, we don't know if the president will address the 34 felony guilty verdicts in the last 24 hours. We know he will address what you're looking at now. Israel's intensified operation inside the southern Gaza city of Rafah. The Israeli military today saying its forces have advanced into central Rafah despite global backlash and calls to scale back the assault there. Just this week, an Israeli official suggesting this war in Gaza could go until at least the end of the year, another 7 months. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has repeatedly said the war will continue. He says until Hamas is destroyed. Hostage talks between Israel and Hamas broke off about 3 weeks ago. It's believed more than 100 hostages are still being held in Gaza. You're looking at the state dining room there, obviously at the White House. The president expected to speak shortly to the nation about increasing the pressure on Hamas to accept this deal for a ceasefire to try to get these hostages out. As I mentioned, that number, and it bears repeating, at least 100 hostages, it's believed, are still being held inside Gaza. Now, again, what's unclear is whether or not President Biden will address directly the major headline here at home, which is the first criminal conviction of a former president in history. Donald Trump found guilty on those 34 felony counts yesterday afternoon in a New York City courtroom. The former president reacting yesterday and then again today in front of the cameras, calling the trial rigged, saying he will fight on. He says the verdict will come this November when Americans go to the polls. Mary Bruce, you're watching this live camera too as we await the president. Unclear if he'll address the news here at home.
And David, the president, we know, has gone really out of his way to actually stay silent on this trial over the last several weeks. He has been silent since we found out about that guilty verdict yesterday afternoon. But his campaign has really struck a very somber, somewhat muted tone. They are trying not to be too celebratory about this. They don't want to feed into the narrative, which Donald Trump repeated today, the baseless narrative that this was all somehow a political hit job orchestrated by the president. His campaign, though, has said that what we saw yesterday, this verdict, makes clear that no one is above the law. And while clearly the president politically will want to take advantage of this verdict, he is now running against a convicted felon. His campaign, I am told, wants to stay laser focused on outlining the stakes in this election. It remains to be seen, though, just how much the president's going to lean in to this conviction. It's why, if he does choose to address it here, and here comes the president, David.
Just checking this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Before I begin my remarks, I just want to say a few words about what happened yesterday in New York City. The American principle that no one is above the law was reaffirmed. Donald Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself. It was a state case, not a federal case. It was heard by a jury of 12 citizens, 12 Americans, 12 people like you, like millions of Americans who served on juries. This jury is chosen the same way every jury in America is chosen. It was a process that Donald Trump's attorney was part of. The jury heard 5 weeks of evidence, 5 weeks. And after careful deliberation, the jury reached a unanimous verdict. They found Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts. Now he'll be given the opportunity, as he should, to appeal that decision just like everyone else has that opportunity. That's how the American system of justice works. And it's reckless. It's dangerous. It's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
Yes, you don't like the
Our
verdict.
justice system has endured for nearly 250 years. And it literally is the cornerstone of America. Our justice system. The justice system should be respected. And we should never allow anyone to tear it down. It's as simple as that. That's America. That's who we are. And that's who we'll always be, God willing. Now to another issue. I want to give an update on my efforts to end the crisis in Gaza. For the past several months, my negotiators of foreign policy, intelligence community, and like have been relentlessly focused, not just on a ceasefire.
Next week I'll be next Friday. Next Friday again. She might work out tomorrow or Sunday. She might pick Saturday night or Sunday morning.
One that brings all the
afternoon.
hostages home, ensures Israel's security, creates a better day after in Gaza without Hamas in power.
Probably Sunday afternoon.
It sets the stage for a political settlement that provides a better future for Israelis and Palestinians alike. Now, after intensive diplomacy carried out by my team, my many conversations with leaders of Israel, Qatar, and Egypt, and other Middle Eastern countries, Israel has offered a comprehensive new proposal. It's a roadmap to an enduring ceasefire and the release of all hostages. This proposal has been transmitted by Qatar to Hamas. Today I want to lay out its terms for the American citizens and for the world. This new proposal has 3 phases. 3. The first phase would last for 6 weeks. Here's what it would include: a full and complete ceasefire, a withdrawal of Israeli forces from all populated areas of Gaza, release of a number of hostages, including women, the elderly, the wounded, and exchange release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. There are American hostages who will be released at this stage, and we want them home. Additional, some remains of hostages who have been killed will be returned to their families, bringing some degree of closure to that terrible grief. Palestinian civilians will return to their homes and neighborhoods in all areas of Gaza, including New York. Humanitarian assistance would surge, with 600 trucks carrying aid into Gaza every single day. With the ceasefire, that aid could be safely and effectively distributed to all who need it. Hundreds of thousands of temporary shelters, including housing units, would be delivered by the international community. All that and more would begin immediately. During the 6 weeks of phase 1,
Get out your hole, Alice.
would negotiate the necessary arrangements to get to phase 2, which is a permanent end to hostility. Now I'll be straight with you. There are a number of details to negotiate to move from phase 1 to phase 2. Israel will want to make sure its interests are protected. Negotiations take longer than 6 weeks.
We should go hamburger in them.
The ceasefire will still continue as long as negotiations
This
continue.
time I can have cheese on.
The United States, Egypt, and Qatar.
Yeah, 2 packets of cheese.
I guess let me.
I didn't eat it.
I had no cheese yesterday. I had regular chicken patty with the pepperoni and the hot lunch meat that Bobby bought.
Phase 2.
I had no cheese.
I just had a whole.
For the reason
Yeah, 2 bags of cheese. On my mom ate it because
male soldiers,
she ate some.
Israeli forces are withdrawn from Gaza.
She's a mom. She likes cheese.
Temporary ceasefire will become a very difficult road to the Israeli proposal. The cessation of hostilities permanent.
They're gonna flip over. They're gonna flip
Cessation of
over.
hostilities permanent. Finally, in phase 3,
One more time down.
major reconstruction
One more
plans
time
for
down.
for Gaza to commence. And any final
Now we can get Lisa in
hostages
the picture.
who've been killed
We'll get Lisa in the
will
picture.
return to their families.
There she is.
That's the offer that's now on the table. And what we've been asking for. It's what we need. The people of Israel should know they can make this offer without any
All right.
risk for their own security because they've
Hey,
devastated
eat that cleaner.
forces
Alright.
over the
Bye,
past 8
Sam.
months. At this point, Hamas no longer
Let's
is
see if I can do
capable
21.
of carrying out another October 7th. It's one of the Israel's main objectives in this war. And quite frankly,
Wait.
righteous.
He started giggling out of
I know
nowhere.
those in Israel who will not agree with this.
Started giggling out of nowhere.
Call for the war to continue indefinitely. Some of them in the government
He started
coalition,
giggling out of nowhere.
and they've made it clear they want to occupy Gaza. They want to keep fighting for years.
See,
And the
you
hostages
used to
are
be like
now
me,
forever.
Bobby. Work out. Burn the stuff off. Burn that stuff off. Burn
Burn
it off.
behind this deal, despite whatever pressure comes.
You should work on Saturday. Work out on Saturday. Lisa works out on
Let me
Sunday.
say this:
My day is today.
Someone
Every
who's had a
Friday.
lifelong
Next
commitment
Friday
to
is
Israel.
another workout. Next
He's the
Friday.
only American president who's ever gone to Israel in a time of war.
And don't
As
forget,
someone who just sent
June
the
1st
US
is
forces
tonight
to
after
directly
2
defend Israel
a.m.
when it was attacked by
Actually,
Iran.
12 o'clock, actually. June
I ask you
1st.
to take a step
And
back.
then my birthday is coming up
Think what would happen
this month, June
if this
19th.
moment is lost.
I'll be big 40 years old.
Indefinite
40.
war and pursuit of an unidentified notion of total victory
Let's see.
will not bring
Oh,
Israel.
oh, it flipped.
Will not
Oh,
bring
it
down
flipped.
Baghdad, will only bond down Israel and Gaza. Draining the economic, military, and human resources, and furthering Israel's isolation in the world. That will not bring hostages home. That will not bring an enduring defeat of Hamas. That will not bring Israel lasting security. But a comprehensive approach that starts with this deal will bring hostages home and will lead to more secure Israel. And once a ceasefire and hostage deal is concluded, it unlocks the possibility of a great deal more progress, including calm along Israel's northern border with Lebanon.
Yeah, I
The
struggle
United
with
States
that.
will help forge
But
a
that's
diplomatic
okay.
resolution, one that ensures Israel's security, and allows people to safely return
I did it.
home without fear of being attacked. With the deal, rebuilding of Gaza will begin. Arab nations and the international community, along with Palestinian and Israeli leaders, to get it done in a manner that does not allow Hamas to rearm. The United States will work with our partners to rebuild homes, schools, and hospitals in Gaza, to help repair communities that were destroyed in the chaos of war. And with this deal, Israel can become more deeply integrated in the region, including, it's no surprise to you all, including a potential historic normalization agreement with Saudi Arabia. Israel could be part of a regional security network to counter the threat posed by Iran. All this progress would make Israel more secure, with Israeli families no longer living in the shadow of a terrorist attack.
All patties.
All this would create the conditions for a different future, a better future for the Palestinian people. One of self-determination,
An hour and 12 minutes.
security, and freedom. This path is available once the deal is struck. And Israel will always have the right to defend itself against the threats to its security, and to bring those responsible October 7th to justice. And the United States will always ensure that Israel has what it needs to defend itself. If Hamas fails to fulfill its commitments under the deal, Israel can resume military operations. But Egypt and Qatar have assured me and they are continuing to work to ensure that Hamas doesn't do that. The United States will help ensure that Israel lives up to their obligations as well. That's what this deal says. That's what it says. We'll do our part. This is truly a decisive moment. Israel's made their proposal. Hamas says it wants a ceasefire. This deal is an opportunity to prove whether they really mean it. Hamas needs to take the deal. For months, people all over the world have called for ceasefire. Now it's time to raise your voices and demand that Hamas come to the table, agrees to this deal, and ends this war that they began. Of course, there'll be differences on the specific details that need to be worked out. That's natural. Hamas come to negotiate, ready to deal, then Israel negotiations must be given a mandate, the necessary flexibility to close that deal. The past 8 months have marked heartbreaking pain. Pain of those whose loved ones are slaughtered by Hamas terrorists on October 7th. Hostages and their families waiting in anguish. Ordinary Israelis whose lives are forever marked by the shattering event of Hamas's sexual violence and ruthless brutality. And the Palestinian people have endured sheer hell in this war. Too many innocent people have been killed, including thousands of children. Far too many have been badly wounded. We all saw the terrible images from the deadly fire in Rafah earlier this week, following an Israeli strike against targeting Hamas. And even as we work to surge assistance to Gaza, with 1,800 trucks delivering supplies these last 5 days, 1,800, the humanitarian crisis still remains. I know this is a subject on which people in this country feel deep, passionate convictions. And so do I. This has been one of the hardest, most complicated problems in the world. There's nothing easy about this. Nothing easy about it. Through it all, though, the United States has worked relentlessly to support Israeli security, to get humanitarian supplies into Gaza, to get a ceasefire and a hostage deal to bring this war to an end. Yesterday, in this new initiative, we've taken an important step in that direction. I want to level as to where we are and what might be possible. But I need your help. Everyone wants peace now. Let's raise their voices. Let the leaders know they should take this deal. Work to make it real, make it lasting, and forge a better future out of the tragic terror attack and war.
Next Friday
It's time
is
to
another
begin
workout.
this new stage.
Next Friday.
For the hostages to come home, for Israel to be secure, for the suffering to stop. It's time for this war to end. For the day after to begin. Thank you very much.
President Biden there at the White House in the state dining room. Let's listen in.
Do you think the conviction will have an impact on it? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Should we be on the ballot, sir?
Let's do it.
Tempted, but not answering questions, obviously, about the news of the day here in this country. President Biden making news on two fronts here this Friday afternoon on both the felony conviction, criminal conviction of Donald Trump in the last 24 hours on 34 felony counts. He made news there, and we're going to get to that in a moment, calling it his comments today, Donald Trump's comments, that it was rigged, that this trial was rigged. He said other things as well today. President Biden saying it is reckless, talking about the 12 jurors who did their job. Donald Trump has every right to appeal, as anyone else would, in that moving forward. He also made news on a global scale here involving the war, the Israeli war with Hamas, saying it's time for the war to end. This is a decisive moment, laying out 3 phases that have been presented to Hamas. First of all, the major first phase is this 6-week ceasefire during which hostages, many of them would be released, including the American hostages that remain inside Gaza. Then there would be a second phase, a third phase, where all of the hostages would be released, Palestinian prisoners, and many of them would be released as well. He went on to describe how the U.S. would play a significant role in then helping to rebuild Gaza, rebuild schools and homes for the people, the Palestinian civilians who have suffered so much during
all
this
done
war as
until
well.
next
Let's bring in
Friday.
Mary Bruce. First off,
My
the
birthday
Israel-Hamas
is June the
war, Mary,
19th.
why today,
This coming
why
month
now? We know Israel
is
presented this
and
somewhat
falls
new
on a
proposal
Wednesday
in recent
this
days.
year.
It's clear
On
that
Hump Day,
the White House,
Wednesday.
President Biden has decided that this is the moment to put
I'm gonna post
significant
this.
pressure on
Have
Hamas,
yourself a great
saying
day.
that the world is
Happy
calling for a
Friday.
ceasefire, so now
And
step
have
up to the
yourself
table
a
and accept
great,
it.
fantastic
Truly fascinating and pretty
weekend.
remarkable, David, considering the
Have a
fact that
good
these
one.
negotiations have been going on for weeks. But this is the first time
Have a great
that we have
weekend,
ever
everybody.
heard the president or the
Have a good
administration
one.
come out and detail what is on the table.